Now I know what you guys are thinking. Poor baby. Okay, so we have a few things to talk about. So the situation with the truck, it's all bad news. So I take the truck to the shop, and unfortunately the guy told me that he has reason to believe that the motor is, for whatever reason, done, and that I need a new motor. So I had to take a chance and pick up a used motor. Luckily I had the ability to do so. It has 80,000 miles. The thing that disappointed me the most was the fact that I had 191,000 miles on the motor that was in the truck. It's been all over the US as a work truck before I got it, so come to expect certain things are gonna go wrong. He said he thinks it's the crankshaft, so I would rather just get a used motor that's in better shape, hopefully with less miles, and not rebuild a motor and then turn around and have the same thing happen in another 4, 6, 8 months. You know, it's just not worth it in the end. So this way I've cut my mileage in half on the motor, and hopefully we get a better start with this motor. So I want to take this time, we're going to have a little bit of a conversation. So updating you guys on what happened with the truck. Straight and to the point, it began where I was having issues with the performance through the beginning stages of first gear, and I wasn't sure what it was. I was getting a code that was basically saying the cylinder 6 had a misfire, and kind of had me a little nervous. So on top of that, I also noticed a tapping noise coming from the engine bay, and it seemed like it was coming predominantly from the passenger side of the engine bay. And I got on YouTube, I looked it up. YouTube is a very valuable asset if you're not aware already. You can find a lot of great things. What I found was that it's typical with the 5.7 liter Hemi to have a tap in the motor. And what that usually is it's the exhaust manifold. The studs that hold that in place begin to wear out. A lot of people suggested going to a mechanic and having them take a look at it, because typically when you go through that process of removing the exhaust manifold, it's typical that a stud is broken, which means that they have to go in with an extracting tool and actually tap the inside of the broken piece that's inside the motor to get it pulled out. That's not something that you can just do in your backyard unless you've got all the stuff that you need, which I don't have. So I took it to a mechanic, had it towed. The bad news is I got the update back. Almost immediately they said, this is not your exhaust manifold. Wish it was as easy as that. Unfortunately, it sounds like it is your crankshaft. So that kind of broke my heart a little bit. I wasn't expecting that type of an update. They said that at this point, with it being the crankshaft, the best thing you can do is just look for another motor. Rebuilding a motor that has the kind of miles that this thing has on it, 191,000 miles on that motor, it would be extensive and very expensive. So I said, for the kind of money that you'd be looking at having to use to rebuild the motor, it's better to just look for a used motor with less miles. Basically try to get the best out of it. So that's basically what we ended up having to do. We ended up finding a motor for $3,800. The motor has 80,000 miles on it, and it is currently being put in now. I do have a couple of pictures that I've taken. By now the pictures should be coming up. You should be able to take a look at those and kind of decipher for yourself how you would feel if you had seen your truck in a complete stage, and then almost seemingly a day later you find out that it looks like this. It's it's just devastating. It's heartbreaking, and that's exactly what I went through. But with all that being said, it's getting fixed, and we should have the truck back in no time. And honestly, I can't wait. I miss my truck. Anytime I don't have a vehicle, it sucks. I've been having to do everything I can to get back and forth to work because I do have a day job, and that is all I can do to maintain being able to create footage for you guys as well as modify my truck. And I do also plan on putting out a complete video of all of the modifications that I've done to the truck from beginning up until now, and we do have more modifications coming, so the next video should be pretty decent. I don't have a big mod coming, but I do have a good mod coming, so it's going to be pretty good for you guys to kind of get a chance to see what it is that that we're going to be doing for the future. Also, on another note, I've got a lot of friends of mine, people that I consider like family, that look after me and help me out when I'm in need. And one of my guys, man, he came through. And so how I've been getting to work is I've been having to utilize Lyft. So you have to call, get a driver to come pick you up. It costs a certain amount of money to get you wherever you're trying to go. And that's the only way that I've been able to get back and forth to work. Well, I shouldn't say back and forth. I've been using that to get to work. A real good friend of mine, who's like a brother, has been allowing me to use his truck to get home because I get off work a whole 2 hours, 2.5 hours earlier than him. So I go home, I relax, I might eat, and then I come back and pick him up when he gets off work. So that's actually where we are now. We're sitting in the parking lot waiting on him to come out and jump in the truck so that he can drop me off at home and I can begin this process in the morning. It's very, very, how do I put it? It's just straining, right? That you can't just go jump in your vehicle and go to the store or go get something to drink or just go on a drive. It really, really sucks. And I'm sure a lot of people have been there before, so this is nothing new to a lot of you guys. But we're doing what we can, and big shout out to those who have helped me out, man. I can't even begin to say thank you enough. So this is for you guys. Thanks a lot. You know, I really appreciate everything that you guys do. On another note, the truck comes back. We're gonna be doing a lot of things that you guys are gonna enjoy. So I hope you guys subscribe and hit the like button. That way these videos can be seen by more people, so we can get more people involved and we can take this thing to a whole new level. Doing modifications to a 2010 truck is not my idea of where this channel is going to be based. I've got a lot of ambition and a lot of dreams that I would love to see come to fruition, and that's going to take getting the name out there and getting people to know about us and getting more views. So please help out where you can. And if you don't, that's okay too. Hopefully you enjoy the videos on your own. Get a good look at her. Because when she's gone, she's gone.